welcome to Ultim8 Fight Clan. I've got Nathan with me again today, and this time I'm going to say, of course, mate, yeah, brilliant. This time I'm going to call it Nathan in Hong Kong, right? And now that's the way it works. Now, normally it's like Toby's film, Trinity Goes East, right? That's what it was. And I was thinking, what do I call this? But because it's Hong Kong and the two words, the in worked better, the single thing in between. Nathan in Hong Kong. Nathan goes to Hong Kong is too much. And then I thought, it don't matter. We've got the best one ever. Flatfoot in Hong Kong is a Bud Spencer film. And there you go. Flatfoot in Hong Kong. Nathan in Hong Kong. So this is Nathan in Hong Kong. Nathan, I've got to do it again, mate. Welcome and thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, brother.
No worries. Brilliant. I'm just going to show you my drink, obviously.
That's
know what I mean? Yeah, come on, yeah, call Supermalt the best, man. Bloody brilliant. Absolutely love this gear. There you go. So I've got my Supermalt because I need the power. That's what Supermalt is to me. I don't do beers, right? That's the closest you're going to get. It's not beers, obviously, but I'm just saying that's my power. If I need some energy, I go, oh, you know, I've had a rough day or I've trained hard or whatever. I go, I get myself a Supermalt. So I'm all prepared. Supermalt in hand. And I have to be, because listen, you've just been to, I don't know, what do we want to call it? It's the holy land of kung fu movies, Hong Kong. Nathan's just come back from Hong Kong. He went there. Every year in March they have something called a Filmart, which is like a trade show. I mean, you'll be able to tell me even more about that and what that actually is. But I'm just going to quickly check something before we go on. Hold on. No, hang on. Wait. I'll check the other accounts. Wait. I can't see the invite. I can't see it. I can't see the invite. So yeah, that's right. Nathan's been to Hong Kong, and Nathan's just come back from Hong Kong, and now he's on Podders to chat about his time in Hong Kong. But you're right. I didn't go, and I didn't know he was going. So look, it's all right because I've got Podders, so it's all good. But
I didn't even know I was going until the last minute. I didn't even know I was going. You know, it was literally a last minute thing. Just like, yo, let's go to Hong Kong. Boom, let's make it happen. All right. A few days later, I'm on the plane.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it was like an impulse purchase.
No, good for you. No, good for you. And you know, you do put a lot of effort into, you know, we might as well just call it your career. You know, you put a lot of effort into what your filmmaking career. And this is nothing. You know, look at when those awards you've been to all those other places and on the red carpet with all the awards going on and all that. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to go to those places. You can go, brilliant, I've got some awards, but you turn up at them. And that it shows a lot of dedication. And I take it you chose March because of the film art and whatever. But tell me about it. What made you go to Hong Kong this year, 2025, in March? What made you do it?
Gosh. So obviously, like, you know, I've been making my feature film, The Lock-In, and so looking at distribution and looking at selling the film. So I wanted to get some, I guess, first-hand experience of what it would be like at film markets, which is kind of like where my films will be sold a lot of the time and things like that. Like, so for example, I went to the American film market, the AFM in Vegas last year. Again, to kind of like get a lie of the land and get, like, you know, a gauge on what people would have thought of The Lock-In and things. And then so for this one, I kind of like just wanted to see what, but obviously that was, even though they do sell to kind of like a global market, you know, with Hong Kong Filmart, there's a particular focus. It does do global as well, but there's a particular focus on, you know, Southeast Asian film market, markets in general, and territories. So I just wanted to kind of like just get a lie of the land, really. And so yeah, obviously I finished shooting The Lock-In like the Sunday before, so the week before the film art was due to come on. So then I just finished shooting The Lock-In. I hadn't planned on actually going there. I was just like, oh, I didn't think I'd be finished shooting in time, but we'd wrapped shooting, and I was like, rah, the film art's next week. I was like, oh, can I go? Can I make it? So, you know, check the order, bank balance and everything. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I can just about afford this. Let's make this happen. Because obviously with the film art as well, the great thing about it is you get a chance to meet a lot of Hong Kong legends. Obviously, like I think Rodney's been there before. I think there was on
Yeah,
Podders that's happened before. He shared some of his pictures from the film art and everything.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
so I guess
Yeah,
you can
we could
probably
do the
thank.
classic. I've got two to do, Nathan. If you want to learn more about Nathan and his film The Lock-In, I'll put a link to the video podders that we did about it here. Wait, if you want to learn more about Rodney at the Film Art, I'll leave a little gap, right? Otherwise, they'll just cross over. You can't do two at once. I don't even know if you can do more than one. Yeah, right. There
Yeah,
you go. So yeah, he's right. Rodney has
yeah,
done chats about his film art experience. Yeah,
yeah. So I think I can probably thank Rodney for that because I would have seen that. It probably would have been last year now that Podders came out. That
yeah,
I would have seen that Podders, and I was like, wow, he met like so many, so many like legends
mm,
and things like that. And I was at the film, so
mm,
I think that was another carrot, probably a bigger carrot than actually the distribution. It's almost like probably this, getting some inside information on distribution of
mm.
feature films. I think that was actually
Just
an
so happens to
excuse
be in
and a
Hong Kong, where
justification.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Go back to Kung Fu movie Mecca, you know what I mean? So
definitely.
that was pretty much it. So I was there on business, but incognito, I was really going there as a fan, you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
was that
man.
was it. That was
Definitely,
it.
yeah. Well,
That
kill two birds with one stone is the saying,
Mhm.
Why not? And just respects to Mrs. Upside Down, I'll call her, for her support with all this stuff. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I know you think the world of her, and I totally
Mhm.
get why. Absolutely brilliant, letting you go off and pursue your dreams and do everything you can to make the success that you obviously already are. So respects to her, man. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, like, Holly's absolutely incredible. I mean, like, she understands how important it is for me to do this because she knows, I'm not doing this just for myself. I'm doing this for our family. I'm doing this to, provide a better future for our family and our kids and things like that. So, she wholeheartedly gets it, and she knows that, whenever she wants to, pursue her kind of like her dreams and stuff, she knows I'm there for 110%. Every step of the way. So we have that mutual understanding for each other and things. So yeah,
Brilliant.
like big love and respect to her. I couldn't do it without her. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's yeah. She got my heart. She got my heart for that. 100%.
Yeah, for sure, man. She was there holding the fort while you were there, chatting with all the Kung blokes and all that. So I'm presuming I've been to plenty of trade shows before, but not been to a Kung one before. I've been to
Mm,
games ones and work ones and all the crap and whatever. Actually,
yeah.
did go to a really good. I'd say the best one I've been to, or the most established one, is I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a game show in LA called E3, and
Mm,
I think it's electronic. I don't know, something expo anyway, something like that.
mm,
But it's a big one. It's the big one. And with work a long, long time ago, I got the opportunity to go to that a couple of times, and that's massive. And obviously, I'm a games bloke as well, so I
mm.
did get to go to that. I would like to go to the Tokyo Games show because that's like the same as Hong Kong and Kong, Japan and games. So I would like to go to
Yeah,
that one day. But I've done the big game show in America. Yeah, it was all right, but it was work, innit? So I had loads of rubbish meetings and that.
yeah,
Lanyards, booths, meetings, and all that. Is that what this film art is?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exactly that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, lanyards. In fact, let's see if I got one. I don't think I had. Sorry, lanyards. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Boom.
Yes, there it
That right?
is. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. There we are. Yep. Film art. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Boom. Yep. There we go.
excellent. Did you
So
pick up me one of those lanyards while you was there? Oh yeah. Why am I
they
even
didn't have
asking? The
they,
answer
they
is yeah,
couldn't
of
they couldn't
course.
spell Steve Ultimate Fight Clan. So I couldn't quite
No,
it
but
wouldn't fit,
you
it
see,
wouldn't fit
like,
on the
look, listen,
lanyard. The
look.
title was too long.
Right. So a friend of mine said to me, "Are you going to?" I can't remember actually remember it was because it was ages ago. They're just still hanging up on the door. Are you going to whatever? And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Do me a favor. I've seen what lanyard they've got this year, so I ain't going. Can you get me a lanyard?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Of course I can. That's what mates do, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
mates
right.
do,
I thought you
right?
meant just the card
Look,
part. Ah, yeah,
so
yeah.
there you go. So he wanted this Quoll Dragon Ball, and I said, "Yeah, man, I got you more than one." This was ages ago. I gave him what he wanted, but there you go,
Wow.
Nathan. So I'm just letting you know you're
Well,
also young in your career and your experience, and I'm just letting you know that you can improve for next time. And if
okay,
you happen to
all
go
right.
again and not invite me again, if that happens again,
Okay,
that's unlikely anyway. But
yeah.
if that were to happen again, or let's just say you invite me because that bit's fixed now, and I can't make it,
Yeah.
then at least I know I'm going to get a lanyard.
Well, now I know that you definitely want a lanyard. I will definitely do my best to get you one.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. But you should have kind of. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think that one. I mean, why wouldn't I want a lanyard? But anyway, it don't matter. We
Okay.
can learn
Okay,
from it.
okay.
And thank you for
Yeah, yeah.
showing it
That's
and
right.
getting
I keep
yourself into
learning. I keep
trouble.
learning.
Yeah, brilliant. So, did you have people that you knew you wanted to see there, or was you just going to have a look and you didn't have anything planned? Like me, I had a big list of
Mm.
meetings when I went to my games one, but it was a work thing.
Yeah, so for me, like, I'd obviously because it's such a last minute thing, I wasn't able to kind of like book on like meetings and things like that. It was really about just
Yeah.
kind of like just turning up and seeing kind of like who was there and things, and but also just kind of like seeing, I guess, what was really kind of like selling at the moment and things like that, and what kind of things were on display and things. Um, so that was kind of like the main angle in terms of what I was doing. So it was really just more about just checking out the lie of the land, really just to prep me for it's almost like this one was like a warm up for the next big film market, which is obviously like Cannes, coming up and stuff. Um, so
Okay.
again, it was just seeing how people are, you know, behaving towards each other, and just seeing that, oh, okay, well, most people that actually has a store, they're actually selling rather than buying. Whereas a lot of buyers will be walking around. So, just even like little bits and pieces like that, just like, learning, those kinds of things, or seeing kind of like if there's certain things that are, you know, looking like they're selling better in Southeast Asia than other parts of Asia and things. So again, just talking to people and just yeah, just connecting, really. And obviously just
That's it.
really putting the word out about the lock-in and things. And a lot of people are like, oh, as soon as you got a trailer, send it over. As soon as you got a sizzle reel, like send it over, because the thing is, they all want action, which is good. So I know I'm in the right genre,
That's good.
with regards to that context. And obviously with the film art, it's not just purely kung fu movies and stuff. It's kind of like just Asian television and film in general, really. So you have like lots of different genres within that kind of context, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge place. But you have like Media Asia. They have a massive kind of like standalone booth, which is kind of like huge, like made up of, I don't know. It looks like a, how you would have you imagine if you had the Media Asia logo but made into a set. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
that. And then you'd have, Fortune Star, for example, they had their own kind of like booths and things like that. So all these kind of stuff that, we grew up watching and seeing, oh, okay, there's that film company, at the beginning of every Kung Fu film that we'd watch and stuff. It's like, oh, wicked. So, it's good to kind of like see not only what they had on their books, but also see what they were open to, if they were open to other films being sold, or if they literally just have their own catalog that they're pushing out and things like that. And then seeing a lot of the, I guess, the smaller companies as well, and seeing kind of like what it is that they were selling, like basically, because with a lot of these booths, they'd have the posters up with the films, they'd have a few posters up with the films that they were selling. So, to kind of like entice people in to kind of like get a bit more curious and have a look and things. So again, you kind of like was getting an insight to see how the sales agents were going about. So literally just have a booth. They'd have probably like I say, a few posters of a few different films that they were selling, and they have like some trailers and stuff of those films. Some would have big sound systems and things and a big screen, or some would just be on their on their tablet and things.
Mm.
So yeah, so there's kind of like a variety of ways in which people were I guess, approaching selling and distributing their films out there and stuff. So there was that, but obviously within that kind of context, you also had a lot of celebrities that were walking around. I mean, quite a few which I didn't know because I'm not into you know Asian cinema like
No, we
that.
can't wait.
I'll let
Don't get
you
on to
go. I'll
celebrities
let
yet.
you go. Yeah. Huh?
I can't get on to celebrities yet. I've not finished with networking.
All right, bro. Like, yeah. I mean, we could even. Yeah, I mean, even outside of the film art, I was meeting people.
All right.
Before the film art even started. But
Yeah.
yeah. Whatever way
Okay.
you want to go
Look, it
around,
was
let's
a
go around.
learning. Yeah, well, look, it's a learning experience. It's networking for you,
Mhm,
and the things you said there that were quite important was you wanted to see what the industry was like because
mhm,
the Hong Kong film industry is obviously going to be nothing like what it was years ago. We know that just from
mhm.
being viewers,
Yeah,
the content that's coming out there that
yeah,
it's
yeah.
changed so much. Plus, there's the whole part of China now, and how much further it might have spread or whatever. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn. Also, as you said, you had something that potentially you could sell, as in you now have a completed feature film in your back pocket or whatever. So,
Mm.
not that you went there for that, but you can have, you are there for a legit reason. It's not just a fan going to meet people.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
actually are an industry bloke, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you consider, or would it be the right thing, or have you thought about, say, for example, next time, would you have a booth there with a lock-in poster, for example, or would you give that to a distributor who does that work in, you know, or would your booth entice a distributor to go, I'll do this for you in Asia because you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah,
What's your thoughts on that?
yeah.
No, you might, know.
Yeah, I mean, I think like in an ideal world, because I've had to wear so many hats with the lock-in, from writing, producing, directing, starring, all that kind of stuff. Like it's been quite tiring. It's been a lot. It's been the best experience of my life, but it's been tiring. It's been a lot of energy.
Yeah,
So I would prefer somebody else to do that. But at the same hand, it's got to be a company that I know is actually going to you know push the film as much as they possibly can. Obviously, they say nobody can promote your film like you can with as much passion and intensity because it's your baby, right? But
yeah,
obviously, what you have to understand is like sales agents and other people like that. They know the industry better than you, so they'll know how to get better deals than you potentially would, and things like that. So that's kind of like the trade off. I'd like to go, for example, with a sales agent with my film, and us have a booth together. So, for example, I can talk passionately about the
that's
film,
good.
and then they can seal the like. In an ideal world, that's what I would ideally like. Um,
That's the
you know,
best method, isn't it? Yeah, because you can chat about the film, and then the other person can chat to the person who's interested in, okay, how do I get this? Go about getting
mm,
this film, and that's their
yeah,
bit. Yeah, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
can sell
totally.
the film to them. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what I'd like in an ideal world. Obviously, you have to be, as filmmakers, we have to be mindful that we don't go in talking too emotionally about our own films and stuff like that. And because, what a distributor may want to hear may not have anything to do with emotion, you know? And so, we have to also remember not to take things
that's the best bit.
personally.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
And so, I mean, I feel like I have an understanding of that, so I wouldn't cross the line within that kind of context. But if you need somebody to, talk passionately about the film and infuse that passion into other people, I can do that. And then tag team in the sales agent. Okay, take the deal home. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Finish
right.
it off. But yeah, ideally, that's what I would like to happen. Because as well, I want to be learning about the industry as much as possible. I wanting to learn about the business of filmmaking, not just about filmmaking itself. Because if I want a sustainable career, I need to understand the business. I need to understand how it works. If
Yeah,
I just leave that to other people, then I'm always at other people's mercy in terms of hoping they'll get me a good deal, and that's that. Whereas if I understand how the
yeah,
business works, I'll know if I'm being ripped off or not, or I know okay how can I again just create my own opportunities rather than just waiting and being reliant on other people to do that for me.
yeah. Makes sense. I don't understand when the hoodie left. You had a hoodie on. It's you ain't got a hoodie on no more. When, when did that come off? When you did Lanyard? Have you done a? Was that an out of shot lanyard hoodie off?
Mate, that was just that was again another kung fu flex. That's what that was. You missed it, Steve. Like with the charger.
I did miss that. What's happened? So he changed his top. Yeah, all right. Well, brilliant skills. And now, where did you stay in Hong Kong? You know, well, I noticed these things, but a bit late. But yeah,
Yeah.
whereabouts
So
you stay?
I stayed in Kowloon. The area was called I can never pronounce it right. The Ham Siu Choi, someone like that. Someone who's been there will know how to
Sim
say
Sa
it
yeah,
better than
Sim
me.
Sa Choi. Yeah,
Tim
Sim Sa
Tam
Choi.
Choi.
Spelt with a T, but
That's the one.
Sim Sa Choi. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. See?
yeah.
You you can tell me. So
The
yeah, so
Guilo
I stayed
area,
in
isn't it?
Tim. You what?
It's the Guilo
What area?
area, isn't it? It's where all the Ingas are, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's where all the Ingas are.
I guess so, mate. All I know is I had to stay somewhere where I could like afford and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean on my budget. So yeah. So I stayed up in there. But yeah, it was great because obviously where I was. I mean, what's really funny is it's not that far from like Nathan Road, which is like a place that same name as me, but also you hear it in so many kung fu films, right? You know, there's
You
been a
do.
serious accident
Yeah.
on East End Road. So I was like, I've got to visit that. And
Mhm.
it's like, it was close by. So, yeah. So it was great to be able to kind of like, you know, visit these places that we often hear in movies and things. And then obviously there was all the, I guess by the riverside where everybody had all their handprints and things like that. Um,
Oh, yeah,
and
that's like their own Hollywood Walk of Fame type where the Bruce Lee statue is.
yeah. That's right. That's right. So,
Okay,
so it
yeah.
was really
Yeah,
great
that one I've
to,
only been once, but it was a long time ago. That wasn't there. None of that stuff
yeah.
was there when I went. So, yeah.
Ah,
So,
okay.
I mean, that's
Well,
all
yeah,
new, yeah.
it was great to kind of like see, you know, all everybody's kind of like handprints there and stuff, you
Mm.
know, from Jackie's to Samo's to you know Lau Galung's and things. So you know, to
Oh,
John Woo,
yeah.
like it was awesome to kind of like see
Mm.
and put your hand there, so you know, like you definitely been in the same place that they've been and stuff in a moment of time and things. So that was great. You know, then also when you know got a chance to go to the Bruce Lee museums to see the other Bruce Lee statue, um, which was really great. Like I actually prefer that statue than the one that's kind of like on that Walk of Fame. To be honest, it's a huge
Oh,
statue of
yeah,
Bruce Lee,
why?
like you know, throwing out a sidekick and stuff.
So,
Yeah,
what did
it's
you
wicked.
prefer about it? The stance, the size? What's the
I
difference
think
between the 2?
I think both. I think the stance. I think it's a more dynamic statue because he's not just stood there. He's actually in an active movement. You know, throwing out a kick and things. And obviously, you
Mhm.
know, Bruce was you know known for his like you know sidekick and things like that. So it was great to kind of like see that, but also the size of it was quite impressive as well. So and it kind of like it's just something about like being by that statue that kind of like made you want to throw a kick as well. Do you know what I mean?
Of
Whereas the other
course,
one
yeah.
obviously makes you want to do the Bruce pose, but that's about it. Whereas this one, you kind of like want to do the Bruce pose, but you also throw out a kick like that as well.
Yes.
So yeah, but
Brilliant.
yeah. So yeah, that was a really cool spot. And obviously visiting that place, it was great because you got to see like um you know a lot of different kind of like Bruce Lee memorabilia and stuff. You know, obviously we got to see the Game of Death, you know, yellow suit and things. And you know, up close, it wasn't made of like the kind of material I thought it'd be made of. I guess,
Yeah?
which again was quite interesting. It felt well, I didn't get a chance to think, but from what I saw, it looked a bit more cottony than I thought it would. I thought it'd be like a bit more like spandexy kind of have that kind of more of a
Oh,
vibe to it.
right. Oh, well,
But
yeah. Yeah, well,
it's
look.
more like cottony and things. And so I
Mm.
was just like, and obviously when I think back to the time, of course it would have been. But you know, when you just see it on the screen and then you see it and then you see it in person, and it's just kind of like, oh wow, okay, it's actually quite different to you know what my mind's eye would have been. You know, because again, when you see something up close, you get a chance to also, I guess, get a bit of idea of what it would have felt like to wear it as well. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you know, so seeing that and seeing all the proportions of it and everything is like, yeah, it was wicked. Like you know, seeing those things. Then you know, you
I mean,
saw.
it shouldn't be cotton because if we go where it came from in the film, Well, is it where it came from in the film? This is a tricky one, right? Because obviously we don't see where it comes from in the film with
Yeah.
Bruce's thoughts of that because he's just wearing it. But when they made the film or tried to make Bruce complete the film,
Yeah.
it was motorbike blokes that had it on, that
Mhm.
costume, and that would be terrible cotton on a motorbike. So it should have been more leathery or spandexy if it was going to
Yeah.
be a motorbike bloke. But yeah, but for
Yeah.
moving about and doing yeah, cotton, and we had one at home. It never fit me, but it fit my
Mhm.
bro, and that was cotton as well. Yeah. Mm.
Okay, okay, okay. So it is closer to the original then that you had then.
Yeah, well, it might be. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it could be the Orig, but I mean, you've just seen it. Well, you think you've seen the Orig,
Ah, well, could well be. Yours that
right?
yeah, could well be that yours is
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
original up in your bedroom with your brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My bro's one will probably have skids in it because he would have done the no pants version. So that's the proper Orig. Sorry, you know what? I'm just being honest. We're only young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 of course, of course, of course.
So
Yeah.
Bruce Museum then. So
Tongue kicking
where
kid.
whereabouts is Bruce Museum? It's obviously in Hong Kong, but do you know whereabouts it
Mhm.
is? Because again, that's another new addition. Well, I don't know how
Oh
new it is.
god.
I ain't been for donkeys.
Yeah, do you know what? I was actually taken there by a guy, so shout out to Ting who took me there. I can't remember exactly where it was. It's easy enough to find, but I think it's on the main island. It's on the Hong Kong
Yeah,
Island and stuff. But I can't remember the exact um, location. He just literally met me at the tube station, and I just went with him. And I was like, okay, I don't have to think right
brilliant.
now. I can just like switch off and just enjoy
I
chatting to
like
him.
that.
And yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
good,
mean, I
good,
could
good, good
probably
on
easily
Ting. I
Google
like
it and
that.
find
That's
it.
nice of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was really
and
really kind of him to meet up with me and like just kind of
it
like show me around
definitely,
within
yeah.
that kind of context.
Did you just spend that? Did he just take you there, or did he get you some grub?
Yeah, so we got some food at like a shopping mall nearby. Um, so yeah, we
Yes.
had we had we had,
Well,
we
a
had some
police
food.
story shopping mall.
No, I
Was
wish.
it?
I don't think it
It
was a
might
police
have
story
been.
shopping mall. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I wish. I don't
Yeah.
think it was a police story shopping mall. And then yeah, that was
Mm.
pretty much it. Then he had to go back and I think he had to go and watch a film or something. So he had to go back and do his thing, and
Okay.
then I had to go meet somebody else. So yeah, that was kind of like
Nice one.
quite short but sweet. But like I say, it was great to kind of like see the museum and stuff. And obviously, it had a lot of TV stuff in there as well. Like Rodney would have been in his element. Um, yeah, it had like loads of TV bits and pieces. Like not only about kind of like when Bruce was a kid, but just loads of TV stuff in general. Okay, if we want to rewind back to kind of like day one of me
Yes.
arriving. So
Mm.
it was like what 12, 13 hour flight, and then I arrived there in first thing in the morning. And the first, and obviously I couldn't check into my hotel until 2. So before that, I was fortunate enough to meet with Xiao Ho, who obviously was one of the
Wow. Mm.
big legends, especially in the Shaw Brothers times for like Bad Monkey Kung Fu and My Young Auntie, which obviously we
Mm.
watched earlier on in the year together and things.
That's
Um,
right.
so
Charlie
yeah,
in My Young Auntie. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, Charlie Yu, yeah, or Yu Tao. So it
That's
was
right. Yeah.
yeah, that's how. So it was great.
Brilliant.
It was really great to meet up with him. He bought me lunch. And yeah, I was just able to kind of like just talk to him about
It's no, 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 no. You
what
don't just talk normal like that. Oh, I was met up with
I don't just
Silhao and, yeah, he brought me lunch. It's just stupid. I mean, this is why you're on here, to do chats about this, right? But I know you've done it, so you've had a chance to get over it. But do you realise what you've just said? You got there, you didn't check into your hotel yet, but you met up with Silhao and went and had grub with him. I mean,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know you know what that means, but,
yeah, yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
that's real. I mean, this is a proper. That's one of the proper blokes. That's the real deal. You know,
Yeah.
now
He was
go
one of he was
learn
one of,
Kunga's Brothers bloke. He's the man.
yeah, yeah. So
Brilliant.
he was always like as a kid growing up, he was always one of my favorites to watch. Um,
Mm,
so obviously for him to not only agree to meet, but be the first person I meet when I'm in Hong Kong. Like literally, the first person I met was Seo Ho, and so it was just amazing. Like I couldn't believe it. I was buzzed. I was like, I didn't believe it was going to happen until I seen the guy. I was like, something's going to happen.
Yeah,
There's going to be something going to mess this up. There's no way. And it happened. I was like, oh my god! It's like literally, I'm having
amazing.
lunch with like friggin' Seal Howe from like my young auntie and like Disciples of Space Exchange, but like all them films, like Mad Monkey
Mm,
Kung Fu, dun, 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 you know, and so
yes,
yeah, I was hyped. I was so hyped. Um, so yeah, it was
it's
it was
mad. Yeah.
brilliant. Seeing him in person and everything, and then we sat down, we had a chat. Like we had to do a lot of the chat through kind of like Google Translate and stuff. Just because
I was going to
there was a bit
ask.
of
Yeah, how did you speak to him? Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So obviously there was a bit of a language barrier. I spoke a bit of English and I spoke a bit of Cantonese, but only Cantonese that I've learned from watching Kung Fu movies.
Oh, hey, whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa! Hang on.
yeah,
Spoke a bit of Cantonese, eh?
yeah. Only
Well,
only
let's
like I said,
come
only a
on.
little bit with the one I learned through Kong. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I
No.
know. I know. Listen, I know, right? They only a little bit learned through Kung. I know, but let's, what were
Yeah.
some of the things you said to him in Cantonese?
Oh gosh.
Come on.
Uh, I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head what we
What?
actually said in Cantonese. But like I said, it would have just been
Oh,
like little little phrases like I don't know Japana Leja Mat yeah Mesia
ah,
or
yes,
Haimon
yes, yeah, yeah.
like those kinds of things as we're
Oh, yeah,
walking through the
open,
mall and
yeah,
stuff like that. Um,
yeah.
so or just
Good
like
one.
Yao or Moa or just
Yeah,
like I say, just little bits like that because like my Cantonese is very very minimal. But yeah, we were able to like have just little
brilliant.
you know brief moments here and there and stuff.
Love it. I love it. And that's from the Kungs.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, sort of,
you had to try and find places to use it, right?
yeah,
Because like, well, I only know these things from the films. That's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
It's like
So that,
normally Hoyman would be a copper running after, or
yeah,
you've
I'm
gone, "Oh,
tagging, I'm
use it for
typer.
opening the door."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
brilliant, mate. Love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. And that
yeah,
and that brave of him though, because look, he also I would have thought he would have turned up with a mate or someone who could speak English or someone who could translate, but he didn't. He weren't bothered. He turned up and knew he couldn't really communicate with you fully and still turned up and met you. Brilliant bloke.
yeah, exactly that, exactly that. It was really great. Like he was really like generous with his time and things. And I got to ask him like loads of questions about kind of like what it was like, working back in the days for like Shaw's and things like that. And I asked him about obviously, I was like, where did you learn your monkey style? And he's like, I didn't learn any kung fu. I've never learned any kung fu. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I just copied. That's it. I just copied. You know?
Yeah, of course. That's a language barrier, though. There's no way he don't know Kung. He's just answering
Yeah.
you as in he didn't specifically learn monkey or know monkey before that film. He does know Kung.
Yeah. Well, this is what. Obviously, I delved deeper, and he says, yeah, he just did opera. That was it. He said he didn't know like
Oh,
real kung fu. He just knew like what they were taught in from the Peking opera and stuff. Um, but yeah, apart from that, he didn't. He's never studied any actual like kung fu, as in gone to any kung fu lessons or anything like that. So he literally was just always had a talent for copying, and that's how we learned. So I was just like, oh shit, okay. So that was surprising. So I thought, because his monkey's so good, I thought he must have, he must be like, he must have a master that's taught him like, monkey style and everything. But
yeah.
no, he's just, really, really
Well,
good. He can emulate a monkey really,
he
really
did.
well.
He had Lao Garlang there to help. So
Mm.
he did have a master showing him stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He had
Exactly,
the
exactly that.
master showing him stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, the
But
master,
as
right?
you say, if he's very flexible, he can do acrobats. So if you
Yeah.
ask him to do a kick, no problem because he can do splits and he's very flexible. And so
Mm.
yeah, I guess he's pliable and just pick it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant,
yeah,
amazing.
and he showed me some footage with him and Neng Hoi, doing like must have been in the 70s because they were all wearing flares and stuff like that and jeans and shit.
Mm.
But like doing like loads of tumbling and somersaults and like
Mm.
piling up loads of boxes and doing like loads of flips and landing on these boxes and things like that. On some
Brilliant.
It must have been on some kind of like Chinese social media thing they had, but yeah, he showed me up on his phone and stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Um, so
Yeah.
that was a real gem to see. And then obviously, of course, showing him some of my stuff and my films, and I was like, can you give me some advice? Have you got any advice on how to make my action better? Because I've only obviously been doing this for not even 2 years yet. And he would just said, the only thing you need is just some more slow motion in to show more power. Like, don't. It's like, but apart from that, everything very good, very
Okay.
good, very good. So I was like, okay, to have like the seal of approval from Xiao Ho, I was just like, wow,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So
Brilliant.
yeah,
And
absolutely
nice that
buzzing.
he said something,
Yeah,
rather than just go, "Nah, it's brilliant, it's all good." Nice that he
yeah,
actually did give you some pointer. You did pick something out and go, "Could
yeah,
do it a little bit more of that." I like that because it means he was actually watching it, taking
yeah.
note, and I love that. That's brilliant,
Yeah,
man.
exactly that. And like, to have those, those pointers by those masters, is great because, they mean a lot because okay, they've taken the time out, like you say, to watch. But again,
Mm.
because they were at the top of the game for so long, they have that keen eye and they know what's good and what's not. So it's a case of, all right, then, right, well, you're at this level, but if you want to get to the next level, this is what you need to add in next. So yeah, that was absolutely brilliant to kind of like have
It's
that.
fantastic, mate. What a lovely, brilliant story and memory to have.
Mm. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
fabulous,
yeah.
And is he looking amazing?
Oh yeah, he's looking great. He's walking with a walking stick, but apart from that, he's like big smiles on his face the whole time and stuff like that. Still looks like he's pretty agile in it and everything. So yeah, it was really great to see. Yeah, like I said, it was. I was surprised to that I'd ever meet him. Because
Yeah, yeah.
I never thought he would be on my radar to meet him, and then to obviously have the
No.
opportunity to sit down with him for about an hour and have decent conversations with him and things. It was absolutely brilliant. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and total respect to him for coming out and actually meeting you. He
yeah,
could have just gone, "No, I'm not not meeting an Ingus." No, but he did, and it's just brilliant. Yeah, no, it's amazing though. No, because it does. Look at Squire and his Seagal story.
mm,
You meet your heroes or whatever, and if that's what we want to call them, and put them on a pedestal or whatnot. But sometimes
mhm,
you can be disappointed. Even though
yeah, yeah,
Squire's Seagal story made Seagal better. I don't know why that was a negative story. It's like, well, you're trying to make him sound crap and he's absolutely brilliant. He's better. I already thought he was brilliant. Now he's even better. But still, now that's another one though, because you said I tried to meet him, and I didn't, or I met him, and I know he was nasty. But the fact that he actually met you
yeah,
that's already enough. The fact that he
mm,
came out to meet you, that's brilliant.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know,
So that was
he
wicked. That was
he.
wicked.
I mean, he's just. I know he's just himself, and he won't see himself as we see him, and all that. But he's given
Mhm.
you a real cherished memory there,
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
meeting that bloke, and it means it means more to you than he would know. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah. Totally that,
respect to him
totally
for
that.
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
What grub
obviously,
did he get you?
so
What
we
food? You said
we
you was
had
in a supermarket with a grub.
so yeah, we went to not a supermarket, so it was like a mall we
Oh
went
no, not
went to.
supermarket. Sorry, a shopping mall.
Yeah, yeah, shopping mall. So we was in the shopping mall,
Yeah.
and he took me to this place, and when he took me there, I'm like looking, and it's like scrambled egg and stuff like that on the menu. I was like, he took me to like a British food place. I'm like, I'm coming to Hong Kong to sample like Hong Kong food, not more English stuff.
Brilliant.
He's probably thinking he's quite like they don't want to have like the native stuff. They want to just stick to their own crap. But like so on the menu, but there was this kind of like noodles. I had this like big bowl of like, kind of like noodles with I guess some kind of meat on top in like a spicy broth. So I was like, okay,
Some
and then
kind
like
of meat.
Yeah. Oh, oh,
Classic.
oh,
I
thanks,
went
brother. I'm still
I
jet lagged,
went in
mate.
China
Right?
and there was some kind of meat.
Yeah, tasted good.
The best,
And
mate.
then,
Who
mate,
knows?
yeah, yeah. And then he what do you call it? And then off of his plate, he gave me half of his egg. So he had like the whole egg in half, and he just put it in my bowl. I was like, oh wow, thank you. So got a little gift from him.
Thanks. Yeah, brilliant. See, what another brilliant story. You know, you've Silhouse egg. Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
Brilliant, mate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
So
great.
good.
Never in my wildest dreams would I thought I'd be sitting here talking to you about how Silhao gave me his egg to eat, and he just took me out for lunch. Who'd have thought?
Right, and
So,
with some kind of meat. Yeah.
yeah,
Th
some kind of meat.
that
Yeah. I bet he probably thought, right, let me give him something a bit more familiar on his plate, like this half an egg. He's not feeling completely out of
I
place.
a mate of mine, he goes over there a lot for business and stuff, and he went always goes out for grub with the Chinese bloke that lives there. So he's supposed to
Mhm.
know stuff, right? He lives there,
Yeah.
and they went to a place, and the Chinese bloke ate crow, and it mashed him bad, like almost never came out of hospital. Now he did
Oh,
recover, but it mashed him bad. Crow. I think crow.
wow.
Ain't he supposed to know what to eat when you're there? You know what I mean? He said, "Nah, I had
Well,
crocodiles." A crocodile? Why?
gee, you get crocodiles in Hong Kong.
Good point, actually. Yeah, but yeah, so that's good that you actually had grub with him. I mean, that's amazing having grub with Silhao. I mean,
Mhm.
that's just the whole thing
Yeah.
is absolutely brilliant. Um, but yeah, the suit. Did you have a look around this shopping centre after, or you
No,
not
no,
bothered?
because basically,
Oh,
because he had to go, and it was just pretty much time for me to go and check into my hotel, and I was knackered at that point because, like I
okay,
said,
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true. Oh yeah, of
yeah,
course.
'cause like I say,
God, you had
literally,
to
'cause I
really
literally,
be awake for him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You
So
just got off the plane, you've been tired, and you had to
yeah, I
meet
was
someone
knackered.
quote straight away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So pure adrenaline kicked in. Then after that, I was just crashing
Yeah.
hard. So
Yeah, I bet.
yeah,
Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
So then I had to go back to the hotel, and then so the next day I met Mark Houghton, obviously White Tiger, and obviously I'd met Mark earlier on in last year when he came over to the UK, and he gave me some pointers on shooting action basically. I applied some of those pointers into my filmmaking since, and so met him. I met Mark. Right, the next day he's like, "Oh, come if you want we're going out on my boat so it's come to the new territories and we'll go out on my boat."
Yeah. Man, I would have been scared if it was me. I'd have been, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to come out on the boat. I kind of do, as in I want to take it all in, but I'd have been
Yeah,
nervous.
yeah,
I ain't gonna deny it. Yeah.
yeah, well, boy, this boat trip, damn. Right. So basically we,
See?
so he goes,
What
so
I take it, it's a what happened on the boat stays on the boat.
oh
Is it?
no,
It's
I'll
one of
tell you
them.
what happened on this damn boat. I'll tell you what happened on this boat, mate. Jeez. Wow, I'll never forget what happened on this boat. So basically, I meet Mark at the pier with his wife. Obviously, it's really surreal seeing like a white guy bickering in Cantonese with his Chinese wife, and they're just going at it. It's
Mm,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant to see. Like it's so good, like
yeah.
it's so hilarious, so funny, right?
The
But like, yeah, just
reality, yeah.
having, yeah, they're chatting, and then there's two of Mark's mates that is there as well. And again, these guys just absolutely brilliant. So we got on a boat, and Mark is he's pretty much like a dive master, I think. So he does like a lot of scuba diving and stuff like that. So Mark's,
Yeah.
so we first thing we're out on the boat driving to, I don't know, for about half an hour, 45 minutes. We go so far out, there's like a police checkpoint where they have to check your ID that the bullet belongs to you and that kind of stuff when you get to a certain distance. So we done that, and then we went past that, and it felt like I was like, "Are we going to Hans Island or something? Off the Dragon or some shit?" Because we've seen all these little islands as we're going by, And like, yeah, we're just still going, and we're just still going. I'm just like, we're going for time here, man. So then we finally gets near this island, and we put the anchor down. And so Mark's about to go do some like scuba diving, so he's getting all his scuba gear on. And then another dude, he is basically going fishing. Um, he's basically getting his fishing gear. And this other
Right.
guy is just ripping him. He's just ripping this guy. He's like, "You're not gonna catch shit. You're crap. You don't even know what you're doing with fishing. The hell are you fishing for?" These two guys from like Birmingham ways is who they are, and like they're literally just ripping each other. Right, but this one guy's
Mm.
just laying into this other dude saying, "You're shit. You're not gonna catch any fucking thing." This like,
Are
whatever.
these English blokes or Chinese
Yeah, these are the
blokes?
English dudes. These are the English dudes, right?
Yeah, well, there
So,
you go, right? The banter, innit? They're
right?
having the
Yeah, yeah,
banter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, totally. So the next thing you know, he's gone and he's cast he's cast his fishing rod in, and he's like, yeah, cast his line, sorry, and he's like, trying to reel. But all of a sudden, he's like, you catch something, I'll give you £1,000,000. There's no way you're catching anything. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, I've got something, and he's trying to pull it right, and his rod is bending like this, like literally bending over
Yeah.
double like it's about to snap. And he's like, what the hell have you got? What the hell have you got? It's huge, it's huge. And he's like, I don't know what it is. Smash whatever it is. And wrestling for about half an hour, right? Trying to bring home this big, it's like, it's massive. I've never seen anything this big before in my
Doesn't
life.
let
It's
it
got to
go.
be huge. But it's just like, I don't think we've actually got something, because it's not swimming away, whatever this is. There's no struggle. It's like, no, it's bending. And I'm like, huh? All right, then. I'm like, yeah, let me try. And I'm like, yep, now what? Freaking, it must be massive, whatever it is. Then I'm looking deeper in the water. I'm like, this is caught on the anchor line. And Mark's like, yeah, it's caught on the anchor line at the
Oh,
bottom of the boat.
bloody
It
hell.
got no damn fish. And so the other guy's like, see,
Brilliant.
you always do this. You always go and end up ruining stuff. You start off really good, and then you just
Oh.
shit at the end, don't you? You just ruin
No,
it.
he didn't
Me with
ruin
the
it.
best
He
of
made
it.
it brilliant. No, it's well good.
So,
Oh my god, he couldn't
so
even tell that it weren't a fish caught on the
yeah,
anchor line.
yeah. Wow,
Love it.
man. So, so there's that hijinks going on, and then Mark's about to go into the water. Yeah, so he goes into the water, but then there's bubbles coming up from his tank. So he's like, I can't go scuba diving because like there's equipment's faulty. So obviously, safe bet for him not to do that. So didn't do that and things. So he's like, okay, right. Well, what we'll do is we'll go to another part of the yeah, we'll go to another part of the river and see if there's some more fish there. So we
Wait a minute.
start.
What would have happened if he did go scuba diving? Would he have just left you on the boat,
Yeah,
or was he
yeah.
expecting you to do scuba diving as well? Because I wouldn't be doing no scuba. I ain't doing no scubas. I ain't
No,
doing
no, no,
that.
no, no, no. I'd have just been on the
Would
boat
you have
chilling
done
with
it?
the other guys. Yeah.
But would you have done it?
Nah, man, you kidding? I ain't doing no scuba diving yet. Kidding? I'm barely swim. No, I can swim, but I don't swim that much. So yeah. I would have done no scuba
I
diving. That's
definitely
some
ain't doing
dangerous,
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Yeah.
underneath that water. Mm-mm. Get
Same.
eaten
Yeah.
up by
No way.
no
Yeah.
crazy fish. Nah, mate. I keep my tongue on you know what I mean, on the shore. So
Yeah.
basically, he yeah. So he basically, it's like, yeah, I can't go because there's faulty equipment. So yeah, so made safe call to come back in, and then we went to another part, and then again he's looking at my footage, and then Mark's giving me pointers as well. Again, how to improve it, and again, this is like, for me, this is brilliant because obviously, like,
Yes.
his seafood was like I learned, and so there's certain things that he's telling me, and like I'm just seeing his seafood almost like evoke into his body. So which is not, 'cause there's certain looks that he'll give, like, more power, and I'm like, that's what Pops does. That's the same look that
Yeah.
Pops, and it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was like I was
Yeah.
talking to both of them at the same time at certain points, which was
Yeah. That's
quite
brilliant.
surreal to see, and
Mm.
it's like, an incredible moment, and um and
Definitely.
also, like, having him, just give me that feedback and stuff, and he was watching stuff with like real fine detail and things like that, and like, so some things that most people would have just like not even noticed on that side, he was just picking out the tiniest details, man. And he's like, nah, it's no good. You need to do this to improve. You need to get better. And I was just like, okay, got it, got it. But I could tell what he was saying. You know, he was right, and it's like it's the difference because he was like, all your stuff is good. Like in terms of your technique is good. You know, your kicks good, your punch good, everything like that is really good. You just need to add these shots in to make it look like it's even more powerful, or these moments here, or these close-ups here at this moment in time to make it even better. And like
Right.
so, it was almost like he was saying to get from here to here is like may not be a big jump, but those little things make all the difference, you know. And so on
And you
one
could
hand, it was
tell you thought he was right. So you could tell by the things he was saying, you thought, well, if I did do that, it would look better. You could tell that it would have
yeah, yeah, yeah,
improved it. Is that what you think as well? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think what's happened is like obviously we're used to seeing kung fu films because we like seeing it with all the wide shots and stuff, so we see all the movement and all the technique and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, that's how we like seeing it. Now, what's happening is obviously you see a lot of Western stuff and everything's too close up, so you can't see nothing. So we're like, oh, that's crap. But I think what it is because of that, we've now only hyper focused on what was different and what really worked back then. It was the wide stuff, yeah. But
Yeah.
when you actually go back and look at a lot of those kung fu that they had a lot of mid shots and they actually had a lot of close up shots to show power, to show certain moments. But we don't register on that. We register on the wide stuff because for us, that's where we saw the beauty of the movement and things like that. So it's kind of like I almost went too far that way, and now it's kind of like, oh right, I see where where they've strategically used those mids or those close-ups for certain moments that you know basically do add to the power. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like was a relearning experience and showing me just how important those mids and close-ups are at certain moments in time to show the power. Because otherwise, if everything's too wide, technique looks weak. Um, so within
Right.
kind of like seeing what he was saying, it kind of added an extra layer onto my stuff. And like you said, it was already good what I
That's
was doing,
brilliant.
but
Yeah.
he was like, no,
Yeah.
so now you just need to refine it. You just need these to do these little things to just make it better. But even like certain things, it's like, oh yeah, you do that movement, but as you can see at one moment, your knee covers your arm coming through slightly, so then we can't see the technique properly. So yeah, it's not good. like
Like,
because he's
brilliant.
been in there for so
That's
long, he's just
amazing.
blunt with it. He's just blunt with it. And I'm like, good. That's what I like. I like, to people that are just straight up and down, not trying to sugarcoat stuff. Just like, nah, this is what you need to do. This does not look good, and this is why it does not look good. This is what you need to do to improve it. So I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Taking notes hard,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
So
of course. And you don't have to take that advice, but you want that advice.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
want it, and then you can add it in if you want. But it just goes
yeah,
to show. I mean, we love the Kungs,
yeah, yeah.
and it goes to show how much they're actually better than we even think. Because
Mm,
now they're explaining things to you of it's all seamless. We like you said,
yeah,
there's lots of things there that it's so seamless that we don't even notice
yeah,
those bits because we're not making it. We're just the viewer
yeah,
watching it. So it
mm,
goes to show, man, and you know your stuff. You've
yeah,
broke
yeah,
down fights like Young Master and Fearless
yeah,
Owner. No, you watch a lot. You know your stuff, but
yeah.
and then you make stuff now as well.
Mm,
So you definitely know what's going down, and they just add. Well, we know they're the best at it,
yeah,
in our opinion, anyway.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
our favorite fight scenes or our favorite style of fighting, and
yeah, yeah,
it's brilliant that you've got someone telling you why and how they
mm,
made it like that. So
yeah,
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 brilliant
yeah.
work for doing that, offering
Um,
that. Yeah,
yeah, amazing, and you could see like he was really passionate about how he was just explaining it. And again, totally selfless. He just wanted me to improve. There was nothing in it for him. He just wanted me to get better. And again, so big respect to Matt Houghton. Always love and respect that guy for
yes,
it because
yeah,
um
brilliant. Yeah, no, no, definitely, man,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So it was really, really great to see. And obviously, like I say, because he was at the top of the game as well. So to have him, say, you know, give that advice, of course I'm going to soak it all up and listen because I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying here. And then obviously there were certain elements that I'll take on more for my own style than others, but for everything I'm observing and listening, soaking up everything he's saying because all of value is all valuable, because again,
Mm,
knowing, how they did it back then, and why they did certain things the way they did, you know, will only make me a better filmmaker in the long run, because I can understand okay,
Yeah.
why I want to do stuff exactly how they did, or how I want to do stuff, and innovate it a little bit, in a certain way. But at least
Yeah.
I'll know the reasons as to why, and things. So for
Yeah, of
me,
course, you're always gonna put yourself into it. That's the way
mm,
you are. It's still your thing, right? And
yeah, yeah,
your style, your movement. Everyone looks different or whatever.
mm,
But yeah, the fact that you can have this stuff and he's just selflessly offering it to you is just brilliant.
yeah.
And on a boat, probably boiling hot on that boat with no shield from the sun. Was it boiling hot on there in the mid? I mean, where's the shield? From the sun. Where's the
Right.
shade?
There is
All I'm doing is see, but you see how I think? I'm sitting here going, I like all this, but I ain't gonna be able to see the phone properly. It's gonna be reflections on the screen. My eyes are gonna be burnt out. I'm gonna be sweating hot. I mean, am I right or what? I mean, I don't know. I weren't there, but I mean,
well,
was you
like.
crying a bit? I'd have been crying,
At
man.
this moment in time, I went crying. But in the moments that kind of like uh, come after that, there could have been cause to cry. So check this out. So basically, so the weather, right? So the weather was pretty warm that day. It wasn't like boiling. It was pretty warm that day. And then basically, obviously, one of the guys on the boat, he was like, "Bloody hell, let's go back and get some more beers, and then come out for an hour." So Mark was like, "All right, I tell you what, go back to the shore, we'll get some more beers, and then we'll come back out." Because honestly,
Right.
it was just banter central. There was just pure banter flying left, right, and centre. It was so funny, and it was great because there's one of Mark's mates. It's actually Mark's student. This one guy, he's been his student since he was like, I don't know, 16 years old or something. This guy, like back in the UK, and Mark was like, "Yeah, I didn't like him at first. I had to get everybody else to try and beat him up, all my other students to beat him up, but he just wouldn't leave."
He just stayed, yeah. Brilliant.
Coming back, coming with him out to Hong Kong and living out there.
Yeah, so he still ain't got rid of him. I mean, he still
Yeah,
ain't got rid
yeah,
of
yeah.
him. Still got him there,
Totally.
yeah.
And the dude just complaining the whole
Mad.
time. He's brilliant. The dude's absolutely brilliant.
Mm.
It's like hilarious. But so he would always have banter with Mark's wife, yeah, and be chatting shit to Mark's wife, and then Mark's wife would just go, "Mark," and then he'd just go, "Ooh," just shit himself because he knew
Yeah,
that
yeah.
his people were gonna come
He's
and kill.
gonna get whacked, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So again, the
Brilliant.
the whole dynamic on that boat was brilliant. It was so great to be a part of that. It was beautiful. I'll
That's
always
nice,
treasure
that's
that for the
good.
rest of my life. Right. But so
Mm,
then we was gonna head back to the shore. And then when we was going back to the shore, like one of the guys said, "Oh, like they said it's gonna be like a amber rain today, because they have like color codes like for different levels of like rainfall out there. That was gonna be like amber rain and
okay.
things." And so we come back to that, and then we see all of a sudden
Mm.
there's just on the horizon just pure mist. So we're seeing like this pure mist, and we're just like, "Oh no,
Oh,
oh
no.
no," right?
Are you on
So
a boat, right? Are you on a boat?
yeah, yeah. And this boat is only
I need
got
off the
like a
boat. I've gotta
roof.
get off the boat.
Yeah, right. This boat, right, is only got a roof. Okay, and it's just got there's
Right?
little sticks to hold him up. There's no walls on this boat or nothing like that. There's just a little steering wheel and there's a little glass thing here, and that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just
Yeah, it's not
open.
a boat. It's not a real boat. Yeah, it's not a boat. It's just a bit of wood with a wheel and an engine or something. Yeah,
No,
nothing.
no, no. It,
Oh,
it wasn't wood.
no,
Like it was a
no.
boat.
It's
The
like,
whole
is it like
engine.
those ones that you see him in Thailand all the time going up and down? Is it like them?
Nah, it's not like a long. It's like imagine like a it's a boat, man. Like his boat had a bit of like it got some speed up, like the speed like in a speedboat in the context like it got
Right.
speed up, but it just
Okay.
I don't know. I'll show you a picture of it, mate. I'll show you a picture. But
Alright,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
this boat, yeah, it's decent boat. Like wasn't no ship or nothing or a yacht, but it was a boat, yeah. Probably fit.
Right.
There's like so you had the person that was steering the boat, then you have two seats in front and then two seats at the back. So and then that was it. And so that should give you an
Okay.
idea of like the
Yeah.
size of the boat we're dealing with, yeah. So
Okey doke, yeah. Thank
we
you.
see we see this mist and we're like, okay, we gotta go through it. Mark's like, okay, we'll try and go through the edge of it. So I'm like, all right. So we're going through it, and then as soon as we hit this mist, all of a sudden it's like we hit a wall, and this rain just went, it's coming down and it's proper hard, and we're just sort of like, Right? Mark's like there, crunched up behind the little like window thing. You know, we're all there trying to hide behind Mark and stuff as he's trying to steer it and everything. His poor wife was sat out for as long as she could take it, and she's like, I can't have this. And she came and joined us and stuff. And we just all like just getting drenched, like just getting like totally drenched, like from top to toe. Because I was thinking, if I stand side on, be a bit bladed, the rain's only coming this side, so at least one of my legs will be dry. Nah, mate, everything just drenched, right? We couldn't see, like Steve, we couldn't see in front of us. Like when I say this is how far in front of me I could see, because the rain was hitting us so hard, I had to turn my face and everything. Couldn't see like no further than that. Next thing you know, Mark's like, "Oh fucking hell, we've gone in a circle. We've got to go through it again." So to go through the
Oh,
rainstorm a second. We went through that. We were all screaming and cussing and just freezing our house. And then we get in and we pulls
terrible,
in. Yeah, mate. It was like, yeah, it was a nightmare.
terrible.
And then
Because you've got
we
no
get
shield. That's why you can't see nothing. There's no buildings or nothing blocking. It's just you've got the
yeah,
real
yeah,
raw, the
yeah,
full force of it. That's it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
And they're even
No,
telling
no,
me like,
no.
I'm like, you don't get rainstorms like this in the UK. And then they're like telling me that that's only amber rain. There's the red rain that's harder than that, and then there's black rain when nobody goes out in Hong Kong when it's black rain and stuff like that. But then
Wow.
when I'd spoken to Ting and he said, "Oh, you were out in that," he was like, we were getting warnings to stay in. We were out in that weather,
Flipping
man.
heck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That could have been, but it could
Mate,
have been so much worse. So imagine, right?
well, I
Imagine.
mean, yeah, okay, it could have been, but he's got you stuck out on a bloody boat. You know. No, I don't like this story. Even his oxygen tank don't work.
Yeah,
Is
but
there
that was
life
it.
jackets?
Imagine. I didn't see none, but there must have been. I'm guessing. I'm hoping. But like, so imagine this though, right? Imagine, okay, if his oxygen tank, everything had been working, and he'd have gone scuba diving, and he'd have been down there for an hour. And imagine if we got caught in that rain. Do you know what I mean? We would have been like,
That's true,
put
yeah.
our heads on the wall, going, "Whoa, whoa." You wouldn't be able to hear us.
Yeah,
So it was a
might
good
be even
omen that
worse,
his
yeah.
oxygen tank wasn't working. Because if it had have been, we'd have been like, we'd have been mashed up, man. So yeah, like fate works itself out for a reason. So yeah, that was a wild, wild
Man, it
time.
it it goes to show how, how things can go wrong, take a turn, you know what I mean? I know you're
Yeah,
all good, but it could have gone wrong, that.
yeah, it could
I
have.
ain't going
But
out with
mate,
Mark Alton, I tell you that.
yeah, I'll tell you. Oh, you got to do it. You
Beers
got to do it.
beers on the boat, never.
Mate,
Never, ever, ever.
honestly, it'll be
Never,
one of the
ever,
greatest
ever.
experiences
And you
of your
already
life.
knew.
You'll love it. You'll
No,
love it.
yeah, yeah, but only if you come back. Flip off. I ain't doing that, right? I tell you what, next time then, no, one experience of your life. If it's all like that, right? Next time, tell him, bring a tank for me and I'll go scuba diving then. No, you don't want to go scuba diving, right? I'm telling you, I ain't getting on that
I
boat. As
don't,
soon as you said new
I don't need
territories
it
on
to
a
go.
boat, I thought I'd have to say no, I ain't doing it. How long have I got to be on the boat for? No, I ain't doing it. It's too scary, man.
Mate, we were supposed to be
If
there
that
for
was
like,
Michael Douglas rain, you'd have got done. I
mate,
only took a bit of Michael Douglas rain,
Michael
right?
Douglas,
I only
right?
took
We were
Douglas
supposed
version
to,
and you'd have got done.
yeah, well, we were good. Thank God it weren't Michael Douglas. So we had so we were supposed to be going out for about 7 hours, right? That trip was supposed to be about 7 hours. I think ended up being about 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. Um, But yeah,
You
man,
ain't
like I
doing
say,
it.
that was it was wicked. Like we were all cracking up, we were laughing. But it ended up so obviously as we come as we're coming back into port, just as we're coming back in, his engine cuts out. So literally, just as we got through
Oh,
that
right.
rain, the engine
Yeah.
cut out. So imagine if it had cut out when we were out there in the middle of the storm trying to navigate stuff.
Oh,
So again,
oh
so
yeah.
we was
Imagine experience of your life. Yeah, brilliant.
mate, it was
Crap.
incredible. Like
This is a
we were
crap one.
lucky. We were lucky, Steve. I'm telling you, like we would like
I'm
this
saying
trip was a lucky trip with that kind of context, mate. Like so lucky. And then I ended
it's
up.
only a story because you're telling it. But
That's right.
this, yeah, that's it. But this ain't a good one.
I'm
Very
loving it. I'm
irresponsible,
like,
Mr. Houghton.
It was no, he didn't know the weather was gonna take a turn like that, you know, as far as he was concerned,
Well, I
you know,
mean,
it was gonna be all right. So, you know, you can't really cut him for that, man. So yeah, it was great. It was great. And then when we got back, must have spent the next hour in the bloke's toilets, literally just drying my clothes under the hand dryer because they were so soaking wet. My shoes
yeah,
were waterlogged. I had to buy a new pair of shoes. You know how hard it is to buy a pair of size 11s in Hong Kong?
I I
Not
I
possible,
struggled to
mate.
buy 9s, yeah, I know, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like, and I had to go meet someone for dinner later on that night as well. So I'm like there, like turning up like hours late for him and stuff, soaking wet, walking the earth trying to find some shoes that fit me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a wild time, wild time.
But now, why doesn't the boat, because I'm non-real at boats, did it not just fill up with water? Wh
Yeah, but you
Why
have
did
them
it
what
not
you
just
call it
fill up?
because
A
on those boats
bucket?
you have like little plug holes where you open
Oh, yeah, and it
the
goes
yeah, yeah, go through them. So you're
yes.
good. Yeah, you see.
You're good. Okay, yeah, but maybe it's too heavy. If the rain's too heavy, does the plug hole keep up?
Well,
If it was
all I know is
If
we
it was
kept up
Douglas,
on
would it
our
have kept
boat,
up?
and that's all that mattered. That's all I know.
Okay, well, that's true, yeah, yeah. But if it didn't have that roof, because that roof would have been offered a little bit of protection, something,
Mhm.
and it
Yeah,
only
yeah.
didn't because you were going into it, so I
Mhm.
mean, if you're going into it, it's just gonna go in your face. Look, it's a good experience. No, not a good experience. It's an experience, and I
It's an
appreciate it and all that, but I don't think I would have experienced it. I would have bottled that. I'm telling you now, as soon as you said it, he said, "Let's go out on a boat." He didn't even go anywhere. He just went out on a boat and stayed out. The only time he went in was to get some more beers. I don't even drink beers. So no, terrible. Real bad story.
Should have done it, mate. You should have done it. Maybe he'd have taught you some Hung Gar on the boat, you know what I mean?
Flipping heck, no way, man. Not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it.
It
Well,
was.
anyway, it kind of
I'm
is because
sorry.
you had your story. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got your
yeah. Like
story.
I said, I'll never forget that story, mate. Like it was absolutely brilliant, and yeah, it was definitely worth it because yeah, like the smile that was like on all our faces were hurting so much because we were all just laughing our asses off at just like the catastrophes that was happening.
Yeah, it was worth it. It's worth all the wet clothes, drying it on the hand dryer, having to buy new shoes. It's all worth it for the story, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
are
It
the
was great.
shoes? Where are the shoes? Did you buy shoes or trainers?
Mate, I had
New
to buy
ones.
some friggin' church shoes, like some brown, like
Hard blacks. Brilliant. Love it.
heel on the bottom and stuff like that. Friggin' yeah, they're solid, mate. You always ones you knock on them. Sounds like that shit. Like they're the ones I had to get. Walking around, I had to walk around the rest of Hong Kong, these tight ass shoes on, my feet was hurting. Battered, man. Gutted. But you know, they didn't have many
For
size
the rock
11, so what could I
solid,
do?
they don't move. They don't move with your foot. Your foot moves and it just goes bump,
Right? The
just
left
cuts
one,
into it.
mate, for some reason, the left foot, right, was so hard to get in every you know when you need a shoehorn and you're like there straining and you're dislocating your fingers to get your foot in.
Oh.
That was like that every time with the left foot, man. I was so vexed. I was like, mother yeah, yeah. Wasn't good. So that was the only regrettable thing about that boat experience, the
Oh.
damn shoes. But yeah, is what it is.
You get shoehorns in the hotel room, don't you? They do them, don't they, in the hotel room, shoehorns normally. You can get them,
Not
can't you,
in
in the
this
hotel
one.
room?
Not in this one. Like I was lucky enough I had to find like a hidden hairdryer.
Oh.
Like they hid the hairdryer real good in this hotel. I didn't even have a damn hairdryer at one point. And then I found it, and then I spent again an hour using the hairdryer because obviously the hand dryer in the toilets can only do so much. And
Yeah,
after
of
every
course,
like
yeah, yeah.
10 seconds, it would go off somewhere. And I was like, ah, so I had to get to a certain point.
Mate.
I was like, I'm going home with this shit now. So yeah,
Oh my god, church shoes, but I love it. Love
yeah.
it. Even
So
you
when
know what?
you're posing in
You know
pictures,
what? It was worth it.
what?
It was worth it. the boat, the story, because of the church shoes.
Not
It
for
was
them
worth
damn
it.
church shoes. I swear to
The
God.
rock hard pain feet church shoes. You know what? It was worth it. No, I love it. It's worth
Mate,
it.
honestly, they had me like, swearing to God and Jesus every night wearing them. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
Jesus, you kill me and stuff. But yeah, so every pose that you see me in on that trip, look at the footwear, and you'll see the church shoes. You see the church shoes. So yeah, they're represented to the fullest. Yep, even that pose with me in front of the Bruce Lee statue, rocking my church shoes, mate. Even doing the jumping
Oh
pose,
my
my
god.
hand on Jackie Chan's church shoes.
Oh, it's just brilliant. It's funny shoes because I says to Squire yesterday. I said he mentioned something about shoes, and I went, "Yeah, no, I've seen the shoes. It's those brown shoes, right?" And he went, "Oh, I love those brown shoes." I went, "I know." I said, "Every shot, it's the same brown shoes." And he went, "You know why?" He said, "Because they're worn. The bottom is all smooth, so I can do boot in them." I said, "Oh, you've worn the ball, so they so you pivot on it." He went, "Yep, they're worn in. They're good for boot." Because I would never wear brown rock shoes for boot, but he's made them into his feet. Yeah. So
Nah.
brilliant
So the
idea.
reason, like I said, I said I'll pose in front of that Bruce Lee picture, and it made me want to throw a sidekick. Well, the emphasis is on want to, because I didn't, because I was wearing those damn church shoes. I know that if I threw my leg up too high, I'd be on my ass. So I was just like, nope.
100%.
I just use that
Brilliant.
imagination that in my
Oh,
head, like, yeah,
absolutely
I
brilliant.
imagine
Yeah.
I'm throwing this perfect sidekick right now and being
Yeah.
upright. But I know in reality, I'd be on my ass. So I'd stuck to the old because yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
was
it.
yeah,
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. In front of both statues, right? I'll do this
yep.
one in front of this statue, and now we're at the boot statue. Still gonna do this one. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, you got to pick
That's
your
the
spots.
best.
You got to know when to play it safe, mate. You got to know when to play it safe. Totally.
100%. Listen, you know, right? But listen, it was all worth
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
It was all
yeah, yeah.
worth it.
Totally,
As
totally.
you said, it was all worth it.
Apart from the shirt shoes, but yeah,
No, man, they made it. So
mate.
what happened after
Fucking
that?
80 quid.
I
Them
mean,
motherfuckers didn't make kill me off.
oh my god,
That was where the
you
tears was
never get
coming
rid.
in, mate. I'm telling you, that's where the tears was coming in. £80 on some frigging church shoes I didn't even want. So man,
Yeah, they're part of the story now. They're part of the story. Don't ever get rid of them. Never get rid of those. Never.
yeah, you know what? I'll
Never.
auction them off one day when I'm famous. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I'm about to
these
say,
are
well,
the important church
now
shoes
people
for
know
that
what
famous
the
story.
story behind them. Yeah, it's come with a certificate.
Yeah,
With the authenticity certificate, the whole story,
yeah,
and the certificate will point to a link to this Podders. You
yeah.
wanna know the
QR
full
code. Have a
story?
QR code on it. Yep, that'll work.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. I bet that bloke couldn't believe his luck when you walked in and went, "You want these church shoes?" I can't
Mate,
believe
right? So check this out, right? So I walks in, and like it was the first
it.
shop I walked in that I seen had these size 11s, and I was like, right, how much are them? And then it was like £80, and I'm like, no, I'll see you later. I was like, fuck, I'm not having this shit. About 45 minutes later, I come back to that same shop. Yeah, can I have those £8 shoes, please? No, I'm not. I had a smile on
Nothing
my face.
else.
I walked back through that motherfucker.
Oh, it's brilliant.
What's that?
No
What's
choice.
that?
Yeah, and you know, when you walk back in there, he knew. He's like, right. And by the way, he knew when you walked out. He was like, go on
Yeah,
then, because I'm real at this place. There ain't no size 11
yeah.
shoes around here.
That's why they're 80
I've got
quid.
the only
Everything else
ones.
in there was 30 quid.
Oh my god.
Supply and
Rare.
demand.
Yeah, but they're rare.
Yeah,
Rares.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
They're
Supply
rares.
and demand. He knew what he was doing, that motherfucker. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, he done the classic. He saw you coming and went, "Ah, I know for a
Yeah,
fact he struggled to get
yeah.
11s."
Yeah. Going
Brilliant.
out in the rain, were you? Yeah, got me, mate. Got me.
What a brilliant bloke, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have got a shot
Bastard.
with him, that
Cut
would
me
have been
deep.
amazing. Flipping
Cut
heck,
me deep,
man.
man.
So good.
So So yeah, so that was
So
the
what do you wanna do? Do you wanna do it day by day, or do you wanna tell me
um
people you met?
okay. So yeah, so then that was that. So
'Cause you can tell me whatever you
um
like.
that yeah, that was it. 'Cause like I say, my time in Hong Kong wasn't really that long. And then I went to Filmart. So yeah, we'll get back onto the Filmart and stuff. So when I was at the Filmart, again, I'm walking around, and at this point, I hadn't met any kind of like real kind of like celebs or anything and stuff. But I've obviously been chatting to some, some people about like, filmmaking and, distribution and sales and their own projects and stuff. But everybody was really trying to push their own project. And it's quite, I guess, not eye opening, but you could see how they literally just had one intention, and that was it. And if you weren't there for that intention, it was almost like you're wasting their time, which was, I have a film to sell. Are you a buyer? No, you're not. Okay, right, kind of thing. So
Yeah,
some people would talk to you about certain stuff, but especially on the first few days, everybody there was all about selling to buyers and things. That had stalls anyway, so they were more open to talk to you at a later stage rather than on like day one or day two. And like I said, there was all the stalls, like I say, was quite vast. So you had obviously a lot of stuff from Hong Kong, a lot of stuff from mainland China, um, quite a few stores from Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, I believe, as well. So like all over the Far East. Like I say, they were all coming to basically do business
good to
in
know,
Hong
yeah.
Kong. Yeah, and there was like a lot of like seminars and talks that were on, kind of like spanning from like, talking about like co-productions and how they work. And that was really actually quite interesting to find out about um the nature of co-productions, and how on first glance people might think that they're 50-50, but apparently they're rarely ever a 50-50 split on co-productions. And just because
Right.
something's a co-production doesn't mean that the film is shot in both countries or has people from both countries in the actual film.
Yeah.
Like co-production can take quite a few, I guess, different shapes and forms and things. Um, but it was like I say, but it's cool. Like there was even like people from like Saudi Arabia and Dubai that was there to do business and things. Certain like film commissions. So it was good to like talk to those cats about stuff, and about
Yeah.
potentially doing. I mean, some Saudi dudes were even on about me going out there and setting up a branch of my action design folks. They saw my stuff and they thought it was good. They're
Hmm,
like, you
yeah.
even potentially, you know, see about setting up a branch for your action design company out in Saudi,
Oh,
because you do a lot of great stuff out there and things. So that was quite cool.
that's
That's
good.
something. Yes, that's something to potentially follow up on. But yeah, but there's a lot of people I spoke to that basically they love the work that they saw of me, and they love the sound of the lock in. So as soon as got the promos for the lock in, because obviously I showed someone the old sizzle reel, but like for quite a few people I was like, I'll just talk it up and then I'll show them the actual trailer in a couple of weeks when that drops. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it was
Yeah. Yeah.
about just making those initial connections right off the bat, really. So yes, that was good. But then like I felt like on day one, all right, I'd walked around and kind of like exhausted everywhere to go, if that makes sense. Because it's an
Yeah.
enclosed space, even though it's big, it's quite vast. Like you go up and down it, and that's it. You know.
Hmm.
After a So I was like, all right, well, I might go out and just do some sightseeing in Hong Kong. So as I'm walking out, a bit bummed that I hadn't seen any stars, but obviously also I'm thinking I told Buddy, I was quite worried that like I'm gonna recognize any of these guys, because obviously my image of them is from when they were young, back 30,
Yeah, of
40
course.
years ago. In some cases even
Yeah.
younger.
Or in costumes or whatever, you know?
Right? So I'm
Don't
like,
know.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna recognize these people because I'm crap with faces and names as it is, right? So the fact that these dudes have aged like so many years, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to bloody recognize them. So I was like, oh no. Um, but yeah, but so at this point, I was like walking out, feeling fairly bummed. So I was like, I don't know if I've you know, if I may have walked past them and not even realize.
Yeah, very, very possible. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, I don't even know. And as I'm walking, like, there's this kind of like this area, and there's all these cameras around there, like taking pictures and stuff. And I saw like some other people that were there before. Like, they must have been celebrities before, but I was like, I don't know, kind of like I didn't recognize them, if that makes sense. So I was like, well, okay, there's loads of people taking pictures, but like I don't know who they are. Um, and then yeah, these people taking pictures this one time as I was walking out, and I look, I'm like, huh? Like, mhm. I see this old dude sat there in this like granddad hat and like a shirt. I'm like, that's Samo. And like, right? I'm even getting chills thinking about it. Like, I kid you not. Like my, I stopped being Nathan Geering, the 43-year-old. I was Nathan Geering, the 8-year-old child. Right?
I heard it.
Right? Yeah.
Some
Exactly, exactly
I
that.
just heard it.
Right.
Brilliant.
I went all softly spoken, and then it was like I was having an out of body experience looking at my little inner 8-year-old child looking at his
Yeah, man.
idol. And I was just like, "It's Samo," and I went like really like softly spoken and stuff, and I was just looking,
Yeah.
and he's like, obviously he's having this interview and stuff, and he's chatting away and he's laughing and he's smiling and he's joking and everything. And then this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, who is that?" I was like, "That's Samo Hong. That's who that is." And she's like, "Is he an actor?" I goes, "Is he an actor?" Because he's like Jackie Chan's big brother. Like he's like the big brother of Hong Kong cinema. Samo. He's like,
Amazing that she asked you. Not even a Chinese bloke. So, excuse me.
yeah, yeah,
Who's that Chinese bloke there? I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
But you definitely knew.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that if there's anybody I would have been able to recognize, it would have been Samo, right?
Yep.
But
Yeah, for
I
sure.
didn't think he was gonna be there. But not only that, I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to see Samo, ever, because obviously he's
Mm.
getting on, he's quite old these days, yeah? So for me, it was like I already, I guess, resigned myself to the fact that, you know, there's not gonna be an opportunity for me to meet Samo, like, time is running out, you know? It just it is what it is, right? But excuse me, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll never get a chance to meet him. And then it was almost like fate was like, "You're not done yet, mate." So just as I'd given
Here
up
we are.
all hope and walked out, like literally, but also Steve, like if I'd have been literally walking another aisle over, I would have missed him. Like
Yeah, you
that's
didn't know
almost
he was
like
there. It wasn't like it was on an itinerary and you went, "Oh,
no,
Sammo Hung at 2 o'clock." It
no,
weren't like that. Yeah.
no, nothing like that at all. It
Meant to
was just
be,
a case
mate.
of,
Meant to
bro,
be.
right? So again, so I'm like, oh, all that kind of stuff. And then so he gets up, he has a few photos taken, and like with kind of like the other stars, or whoever they were. I didn't recognize them, but whoever they were, basically Samuel had like his photo taken, and again he he was just different. Like everybody else was in suits, he was just in this like, you know, check blue and lightish colored like shirt and stuff like that, with looking like a granddad. You know, he was just different, but his aura, his energy, how he carried it, was completely different to everybody else. Like it was like he was on a different level. You know, but not only
Yeah,
that,
well, he is.
in
Yeah.
terms of, but only also in terms of a different level of comfort within himself. You know, he wasn't like trying to project or be anything. He was just, this is who I am. Like it just seemed like he was just really comfortable in his own. So everyone's like posing a little bit, and he was just like, it's like
Yeah,
I'm
just
me.
not just bit normal. He don't need to do all that. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
He's the man, isn't
So
it? That's it. He don't need to do all that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, and I will never ever forget that feeling of seeing him. Like never ever will I forget that feeling of seeing him. Right. So then he
Mm.
then comes off that staged area, and then all of a sudden there's a whole crowd of people around him, and then he goes and sits down. I'm like, oh, what's he sat down? Like, 'cause at first I thought he collapsed because he just went out of my view. I was like, huh? And then and everybody crowded around him, and then obviously because he's in a wheelchair for a lot of his time now, so he was like literally in his electronic wheelchair, and he's trying to leave, and everybody's just swarmed around him as he's like basically trying to leave and stuff. Like, oh, Samo, Samo, rah, rah, rah. and like
Brilliant.
it wasn't because these mob they were like a mob of people, and
Oh,
they were like literally pushing into him, trying to get a selfie. They're like holding their pictures up, holding their phone up, and like literally
wow.
shoving their
Okay.
bodies
Well,
into it. An old guy in a
yeah.
wheelchair, and he's getting knocked, and he's literally pushing them off like that, just going, "Get off me," kind of thing. And he's getting like pissed. Like, and these people are, and he's like just really trying to go as quick as can. And the security that's around him trying to push these people back, but they're just running in and rushing in and trying to take pictures and so, Sam, Sam, Sam. And so, he's getting quite
Oh,
frustrated. And he went to like this backstage area, and I'm like kind of like hanging back from all this. And again, my in radio China's like, "What are you doing to my son? Leave my son."
he, yeah. No, it's very disrespectful. I said it was brilliant. I said it was brilliant
Yeah,
because I liked it that people knew who he was and
yeah, yeah,
wanted to
yeah, yeah.
get a picture with him. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. That's not the way to do it. That's very. That's horrible. That. Yeah.
Yeah, because he like, 'cause it was kinda like, where was the level of respect for that human being? But only not even just for him for what he's done, but just on a basic human level. If somebody's in a wheelchair and they're
Yeah.
trying to get from A to B, you don't shove into them as they're moving their wheelchair and stuff
No, of course
to
not. It's
try and
a
just get
person. Yeah.
right, right? And that was it. So that was quite tough to see. Um, and then kinda like he went kind of like in this like backstage area, and we all kind of like went into this backstage area and stuff. And then he went through a door, and then he come back out, and then like the other people had turned away and walked away, but I was still there. And I was like, "Oh, Samo," I was like, "I'd really like to speak to you." And he was like, "Yeah, well, what do you want? What can I do for you?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a filmmaker, and I make martial arts films, and I'd really like." And then just I was about to try and talk to him to try and show him some stuff. Everybody went, "Samo," and then just swarmed on him again.
Oh,
I was like, I had that moment was there, man. And then like, yeah, just got friggin' robbed, man. And then so that was it. He was just like
damn
literally
it.
just trying to get away because everybody again was just shoving into him and just swarming around him and stuff. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him beyond that, just to literally say literally just a couple of words for a couple of seconds, and that was it. He
Yeah,
was
but he answered you. You spoke to him and he answered. But what a brilliant bloke! After all that grief, he
yeah,
still said, "Oh,
yeah,
well, yeah. What can I do for you?"
yeah, yeah. What do you want? What
Yeah,
can I
you
do
would
for
have
you?
thought he'd be in the mood to go, "No, no, no, no. I'm done with people now.
Yeah,
Get lost." But he didn't.
yeah. Yeah, but
Love
even
that.
so
That's
then what even
amazing.
happened then, when everybody swarmed around him, like he even like got them to make a bit of a line, and then he was like trying to like sign people's autographs, but then people were still trying to push in through that, and then trying to shove in and
No,
get a
they
plate. He was
ruined
like, "No,
it.
fuck this, I'm gone," and
Yeah,
then that was it. It ruined it for everybody then. So
yeah.
that was
If
it.
they'd have just
But
calmed down and
yeah,
done it orderly, he obviously
yeah,
showing there. All right, you can have a picture. I'll sign stuff. Just,
mm,
I mean, give me some
yeah, yeah,
space. Damn it.
yeah, and the thing is as well, it was again quite um curious because again everybody at the film art, or at least I'm 90% of them, were there in the film business to do business about film, you know? So it wasn't like these were just Joe Publics as far as I knew. They were super fans. They were like people that were there officially to do business in some way, shape, or like sell somebody's um, film or to buy somebody's film, for example, or to represent a company.
Yeah,
But it was like all that shit went out the window, and they were just like it was like mob. It was the first time I'd seen mob mentality in that way so up close, and and just kind of like how it really de-individuates a person and almost like dehumanizes them in terms of it got to a point where they didn't think about him as a human being. They just literally thought about, I just need to get a picture with this guy at any cost, and that was it, man. So
just like
yeah,
an
it was
object. Yeah, he wasn't a person. Yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah,
turned
yeah,
into
yeah,
an object. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So that was price of fame, I guess. It was like I say, it was quite difficult to watch. Like I was trying to give him respect and like and hang back. I mean, in hindsight, what I should have
yeah.
done when he went through those back doors, I should have just said fuck the security and just burst through them back doors with him, just had a one to one with him. But again, I was like, at the end of the day,
You're
I was
trying to
like,
do
okay,
things
well,
the right way. You know,
mm,
you're trying to do
but that
things
was
the
it.
right way and not be disrespectful. So
Yeah, I mean that's it. I'd rather, you know, if he does remember me for a split second, he doesn't remember me as a disrespectful guy that was trying to like, shove into him, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if we're meant to meet again, we will. But yeah, it
Correct.
was. Yeah, I never thought I would ever be able to share space with him. So just for that, I treasure that for the rest of my life, because I never thought I'd be able to
Definitely.
be in
Yeah.
the same building. As far as I was concerned, that was never going to happen. So for that to happen, yeah, it was truly an incredible blessing. It was just a
Yeah.
shame what happened after that with everybody else. But yeah, it was again, like I say, a
Yeah.
bit
That's a
heartwarming.
bit rough, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's brilliant that everyone recognised him and wanted a picture with him and all that, but
Mhm.
just treat him with a bit of respect and dignity, and I'm sure he would have given everyone pictures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shame, isn't it?
totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a
I
real
wonder
shame.
why the organisers didn't realise, how popular he might be, and maybe sort that out. All right, form an orderly. Samo, you all right to take some photos and do some autographs? Yeah, sure. All right, everybody, form an orderly queue. And why weren't,
Yeah,
I mean, they must have
yeah.
known it was going to go mad, or not must have known, but you'd think that it's Sammo Hung, isn't it? So
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised they
So
weren't more prepared for it.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. So yeah, like I say, that was a bittersweet kind of thing, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I
Although
said.
it's a trade show and not a fan meet Comic Con thing.
Hmm.
So actually, you wouldn't expect there to just be a bucket load of on the street fans there mobbing him, would you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Unless they got wind of it. You didn't know, but maybe some people did get wind of it, knew he was going to
yeah,
be there
yeah,
at that
yeah.
time doing that presentation or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Possible, isn't it?
Yeah, quite possibly. Um,
Still brilliant you got to see him, mate.
yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? It was like I said, it was really surreal. Like when, like that feeling, like I said, I'll never forget. Just seeing him, like, because what I'll look back on not the time with those people mobbing him, but more so on like how he carried himself and how his energy was when he was doing those interviews beforehand. When I was watching him live, like do that kind of thing, and like just
Yeah,
seeing how he was there, it was brilliant. Like, and how I just felt it here in my heart, like, man, like, yeah, it was such an unexpected feeling, because I didn't think I'd ever be experiencing that. So it was it was a new feeling, I guess, that I hadn't had before, which
interesting.
was yeah, it was like, I don't know, it was like a different kind of surprise and a different kind of, I don't know, almost like joy, almost like no, I felt like I was stood holding my younger self's hand watching it. Like, I think that's
Mm,
probably the best way I could describe it, you know? Yeah, it was surreal, it was magical, like, absolutely magical.
well, thank you for taking the time to, because I could see you pause for thought there, and thank you for taking the
Mm,
time to do that, to try and put into words how that felt, because there's a number of times during that chat where you said, it felt different, and you took a little bit of a time out there and went, "How did this actually feel?" And yeah, so thanks for doing that, and yeah, that's a very nice image, like you say.
mm.
It's like it all coming together, in it, really.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. So, yeah, so he was the first person I met at the Filmart. Um, so that was, yes, that was the first day I was there. And then the second day I was there, first. Oh, so the second day I was there, um, I was like, okay, let me meet up with. Let me go to Hong Kong Stuntman Association. Let me go to their base. Okay, so I was like, well, I'm in Hong Kong. Let me go check that. Hopefully, meet Chin Kai Lok, and go down there. Um,
Is that so? That's not in the film art. That's somewhere
hmm.
else.
Yeah, yeah. Because somebody said to
Okay.
me that they'll have a stall at the Film Art, and I went to the Film Art, and they on the first day, and they didn't have a stall there. So I was like, oh well, great. I'm not going to meet them lot then. So I was like,
Mm.
okay, well, let me seek them out. So I went to their base, and then it was closed. So I'm just like,
Oh,
oh, then great. So to I went to the film art on the second day. Um, And again, I'm walking around, and obviously they had because there was rumors that Jackie was going to be at the film art, right? Um,
Yeah, I
but
heard, but
yeah, he
he
weren't
don't
there.
think he was he?
No, no,
No.
it was literally just his the company, like his film schools, a bit like the JC Stunt Camp, where like you don't get to meet him, but there's he endorses it basically, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I think that was the kind of same with this. It was like kind of like him showing support for Chinese for young like Chinese directors of like action cinema, basically. So it's kind of like, hey, what's gato? Um,
Yeah. Yeah, alright.
yeah, you're looking like a Bond villain
Yeah,
right
man.
now, but
Yeah,
not
it's
quite
true, yeah.
doing it. Yeah, but
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so you got me doing the fucking cat stroking thing now. But
Yeah, well, look, you might as well meet him. Billy, this is Nathan. Nathan, this is Billy.
hey Billy, how
You
you
know?
doing?
Yeah,
Hey,
he's
how many
good,
kung
yeah.
fu movies you seen, Billy?
Oh, endless. Yeah. Oh, everyone that I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All of them, right? Yeah.
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 Do you catch call with him?
Good old boy.
Do you learn off him?
Of course, yeah, all the time. Yeah, I mean, I've got loads. Yeah, of course, yeah, I've got all the marks from it. Yeah, of course, training dummy. I'm his wooden dummy, innit? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, gotta get that training up.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, wicked, wicked,
So
man.
stuntman's, yeah,
Yeah.
you went there and it was shut.
Yeah, we shut. So I come back and then I'm walking around the film art, and then obviously there was so that Jackie Chan thing was given a talk. I can't remember what time it was, about 1:30 or something. But for some reason I thought it was at 2:30. And then I kind of like saw the timing somewhere and I was like, oh, I missed it. Um, because at this point I thought, oh, maybe Jackie would be there. But I say that, but I actually had some inside information that he wasn't going to be there, but I think I was just still hopeful, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, he wasn't there. And then as I'm walking to the seminar spot in terms of where they're going to be, because I was going to see if I could catch the end of it, I see all these people still on the stage and taking a picture. And again, I'm looking and I'm like, huh? Is that Garlock? That's in Garlock. And yeah, it was. So I was like, holy shit. So I had to go over to him. And so I was just like,
of
oh,
course. Yeah.
give me a chinka look. And he's like, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, when I was Nathan Geering, I'm a filmmaker from the UK. He goes, oh, what, you stuntman? I was like, well, I do some stunts, but more of like a director and things. And I was like, I'd like to talk to you about, potentially a UK and Hong Kong collaboration. And I was like, can I show you some stuff? And he's like, yeah, yeah. So showed him some footage, like from Flaming Assassin and from Fighting at 12,000 feet. It's like, oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk about a UK Hong Kong collaboration. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's talk. You call this number. And so I was like, okay. I was like, but I've tried to call this number. He's like, yeah, because I've tried to call it before, but well, I've left messages before, but there've been no response. And he's like, oh, my assistant, she never tell me. She goes, okay, don't worry, I'm going to talk to her and make it happen. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's keep talking. UK, right? And I was like, yeah, yeah. He's like, okay. But obviously, because he's a TV celebrity there as well, because he does a lot of TV stuff. So obviously, everyone again was wanting to take pictures with him and everything. But yeah, so they were to
Well,
chat
you
quite
got
a
to
lot.
him, no?
Yeah, I got to meet him, and like I
How
said,
comes you managed to get to him so well? I'm not saying so easily, but yeah, how did you get the one-to-one time with him? I know. How did you manage that?
because he was just walking as because basically I saw which way that he was coming off the stage, so I went round the other side. So when he came round, I was the person that he met. That was how I did it. And then yeah, we just
Right.
chatting, and he was fine. But obviously, like loads of other people want to take pictures, so I couldn't take up too much of his time. And that's the thing when you're at the film art with people. Like some of them you can sit down and have a chat with for a while, but quite a few of them, especially the bigger stars, because there's so many people demanding their time or they're busy doing other stuff. You only get a chance to say hi, take a picture, and go, and that's it. So it really does just
Yeah.
depend on your luck and your timing and who you meet. But like I say, so luckily with Chin Kai Lok, he liked what he saw and he was open to potentially collaborating. So again, that's something that I have to follow up at some point.
Love
Um,
that. That's amazing, isn't it?
but yeah, but even if nothing
Brilliant.
comes of it, the fact that he liked my stuff again, like
Yeah.
surreal, totally surreal. So,
Well,
it was good that they're seeing something in
time
it.
to go. Sure, sure. You'd think he'd go, "I ain't got time, mate.
Mm,
I ain't got time." But he didn't. He went, "No, let's have a look."
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, right. So yeah, so
Fabulous.
that was that. So I was just like, wow, friggin', obviously Jackie's, stunt double, also like friggin', martial arts master Wong Fei Hung. He was in Mr. Vampire 4, all them kind of films and stuff. And I'm like, watching these with my kids, and like, yeah, again,
Yeah.
now I'm meeting him. So again, really, really surreal. And then
Yeah, he's a
so
good one. It's funny you mentioned Samo and now Chin Carlock. He's a very big Sammo Hung stunt guy, wasn't he, as well? So yeah,
yeah, big
it's
time, big
good,
time.
man.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking around, and then I'm walking around near towards the main entrance. I'm still inside the film. I'm walking towards the main entrance, and seeing this dude. He just come out of like must have just been he was still on the outside of near where the toilets were, and there's a group of people around him, and how he's carrying himself is like again like it's something about these greats have this aura around them. They have something about them, and I think that's why they're great. There's something about them,
Mm.
right? And I'm walking, and I'm like, I know that old dude. I'm like, but where do I know him from? I know that geezer. So, like, is that NGC Nguyen? I'm like, is it? Then I'm looking. Get up on Google. I'll get a picture of him, as in what he's supposed to look like today. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at his picture. I'm looking at it. Look at his picture. And I'm looking at the glasses. I'm like, they look like they're the same glasses, which don't mean nothing, right? Like, I'm crap when it comes to face today. Don't mean nothing. Same glasses. Don't mean nothing, right? I'm looking hard, right? And then so I'm walking. So if he stood here, yeah, I'm like on this side,
Mm.
and I'm walking, and I'm staring. I lock eyes with him, and then I carry on walking. And I look down at my phone again, and he's just busy chatting to people. And I walk back this way. I'm there still
Yeah,
checking.
right. Yeah.
Look, trying to match the same angle on my phone as what he stood at to see if that's him or not. And I was like,
Yeah.
got to a point, I was like, I can't take this no more. I need to just go and ask him. I was just like, excuse
Right?
me.
Yeah,
Because
you're gonna
again,
have to.
yeah, because I was speaking with a guy who worked with him, and I asked if he was going to be there. He said, "No, he's 81 years old. He's not going to be there. He's more likely not going to be there." I goes up, and I go, "Excuse me." I goes, "What's your name?" He was like, "Oh, NG." I goes,
Brilliant.
I knew it. I knew it. It's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Oh, my name's Nathan Geering. I'm a UK-based filmmaker and stuff. Oh, I like to
Brilliant.
show you
Did
some
he
stuff." Like,
did he say that to you? Did he say to you, "What's your name?"
yeah, yeah. He
What a
again,
brilliant
no arrogance or
bloke.
nothing. Yeah, yeah. He just asked me what my name was, right? So I'm just like, I was like, oh, can I show you some stuff? I'm a director from the UK. And I'm trying to get again my flaming assassin thing up, and I pressed the wrong thing, and it was the dust up the Hong Kong fight scene that I did in the warehouse, right? And that pops up,
Okay.
and I'm like,
I
because my
thought it was
phone
gonna
at
be the
this
picture
point.
of him on Google that popped up. Let me just
No,
quickly
no.
show you. Oh, hang on. No, don't worry about that.
Right? Because
Brilliant.
my phone was like playing up and it kept like freezing and not going on the right thing. And so it went on that one and I
Yeah.
was like, that's not what I want to show him. And he seen like the first 3 4 he went, this is good, that's good. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Right?
Yeah, that's
So,
exactly what I wanted to show you. Yeah.
yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, I
There you
said to him
go.
after, oh, thank you. I was like, but actually, like, there's something that's when he goes, okay, can I see? And I was like, yeah. So then I showed him the Flame Assassin stuff, and he said, you're good. He goes, I hope one day you make movies in Hong Kong. And I was like, well, actually,
Yeah.
I've been talking to Keith Strandberg, your boy. So maybe that may happen at some point. He's like, yeah, yeah. Oh, very good, very good. Keep working, keep going, keep going. And that was that. And then he went off with his entourage again, and I was just like, wow, like literally, Steve, think about this, yeah? So as a child, I grew up watching all these guys on screen as you grew up watching all these people on screen, right? In
Yeah.
films.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, these people are watching me on screen, are watching my films. Like, I would never have thought that would ever happen. Never, ever, ever would I've ever dreamed that. What is going on? You know? So again, like in terms of such a surreal experience in terms of what's possible, like for me, the doors are wide open on this now in terms of, you know,
Yeah.
anything I ever thought I would ever achieve, I've I've gone beyond that because there's so many things I never would have dreamed that could have even happened that have happened. And not only happened, have turned out much more positive than I ever thought they could, you know.
Yeah,
And
well, I'm so pleased to hear that, and I'm so pleased for you, and you bloody deserve it, and all. And the fact that you've even got a film or anything to show them, you could never imagine when you're a kid that you're gonna, have them watching your films because you don't even know you're gonna have a film to show them,
yeah,
but you
yeah,
have.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's the
Exactly,
best.
exactly. So, yeah, like again, for me to for me to experience that was far beyond anything I could ever have imagined. So the fact that that's happened now, I'm totally open to anything being possible, if that makes sense. For me,
I
it
see.
doesn't it
I
doesn't
see.
feel like okay,
Yeah.
not like because before there was always, I guess I'd say there'd be a limit. Like for example, my limit was oh I'd never see Samo because you
Mm.
know he's getting that was my limit. I've seen him now, I've shared space. I got to talk to him for a brief few seconds, but that's it. NG, I never thought I'd meet that guy. The producer of Drunken Master Snake and the Eagle Shadow. Never thought I'd meet the dude. He's 81 years old. Met him. Not only that,
Yeah.
showed him my film.
Yeah.
Shin Kang showed him my stuff. You know, Mark Houghton on a boat. He's giving me,
Well,
come see me price. Xiao Ho, buy
yeah.
me lunch.
Yeah.
Give me all this stuff. I couldn't write it because I could never see it. I could never see it happening because I never even would have thought it would have been a concept to happen. But now
Mm.
it's happened. So again, it's kind of like really boosted me, I guess, in a way of thinking, okay, right,
Mm.
well, I've just got to keep adding momentum and just keep going and just see what happens, and that's it, and just be
Yeah, it's like
open.
you've like broken through a barrier.
Mm,
You broke through a barrier there, and
yeah,
yeah, and it's like new heights where you can believe these things now and go, all right, things can
yeah,
happen, and that means that other stuff can happen and more things can happen. So it's giving you
mm,
some belief, which I know you're very self confident anyway, and
mm,
confident in your abilities and whatnot. And you always say to me, "I'm going to take this as far as I can, and I'm going to try my very best and all that." But even now, it's interesting hearing you say that some somewhere there was a ceiling, you
mm,
know, not with
yeah,
everything, but with some things, and you've gone, well, it's gone. The ceiling's gone. But
yeah,
this experience has enabled that, and that's brilliant. Good
yeah,
news. That.
yeah, yeah, totally. So if there's one thing for this Hong Kong journey is been a case of it's enabled me to be able to go beyond where I thought would be possible. Um, and for me, I think that's the biggest takeaway for the entire
Mm.
trip. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always going to be learning. I'm always going to be leveling up as much as I can, and always being a student, and give respect to those that's come before me. Um, but now that I'm sharing, I've shared space with these greats and things like that, and they've seen my stuff and they rate it as well. So again, you see your idols and they not only meet them, but then they see your work and then they say they like your work.
Mm.
Again, never would have thought in a million years. So for me now, I feel like I'm almost like in outer space in terms of how my body's feeling at this moment in time. In terms of
Okay.
because there's a what is it? It's like when you go into outer space, is it the overlook effect or something that you have when
Oh, is
you
it? I don't know it. Yeah.
yeah, because
Okay.
when people are in space, I think there's a few people that's been in space. Once they kind of like just come, I think just above the Earth's atmosphere, so when they see that the curvature of the Earth and things like that, it's kind of like they they perceive things a bit differently. And I feel like
Mm.
because of what's happened, I perceive what's possible differently to how I did before, if that makes sense.
It does.
So
Yes, yes.
yeah, so w and right now, everything is unknown to me, but it's so exciting, like, so exciting.
Mm,
So
of
that's
course.
where I'm at right now.
That's amazing feelings to have that you didn't know you could possibly have. And like I said, you're a very ambitious person anyway. And this has given you new perception, new breakthrough. And now you know. You've always told me, though, the sky's the limit, be your best self. And, you know, you have the wicked chats, and you don't just do the chat, you walk the walk. It
Mhm,
isn't just you talking, you demonstrate it by what you're doing. This is this has happened because of you and the way you've been. And as I said at the beginning here, you went to Hong Kong. You make these things happen. You know, you
mhm,
made that
yeah,
happen. You're not gonna if you sit at home and don't do it, and like you say, take too much notice of the bank balance and don't have the wicked woman beside you supporting you, pushing you to do these things as well. But you make the most of it. You could have all that and still just go, yeah, but whatever. But you don't.
mhm,
You don't. You
yeah,
push the boundaries, see? So this is a brilliant like breakthrough. I love it. It's
yeah,
really, really good, man. You deserve it because you made it happen.
yeah, thank you, thank you. I mean, that's the thing, it's like, if I hadn't taken the trip, I wouldn't have met none of these people,
Mm,
you know?
no.
And that's it. I mean, and who's to say I would have met them in the future? I don't know. But the fact remains that this trip has kind of like it's unlocked something inside me, and it's enabled me to kind of like, yeah, I guess just have a different perspective on where I can go, um, and where I want to go as well. So, yeah, just watch this space, I guess.
Yeah, man. Some unlocked potential, but you do it all the time. You said to me, I really want to meet Jude Poyer. And it's like, oh yes, Madame's playing and he's gonna be there. So then you're there.
Yeah,
That's much easier for me to get to than it is you. And I went, I want to chat to him as well. Yeah, but you
yeah,
went.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I went, I saw Yes Madam the other day, at the cinema as well. But you went. Do you see what I mean? And it was much more
yeah.
difficult for you to go, but you went. And then I
Mm,
saw the shot and went, you see? You see, I saw the shot with you and Jude, and I went, no, you see? You see? So it's inspiring. It's good to see. It's good for people to see. And even for myself, I looked at that and went, all right, there you go. There you have
mm.
it. That's how it's done. So, respect and very, very inspiring as well, mate. So, yeah, fantastic to see.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
I can only imagine how you feel with all this stuff. It's got to be overwhelming, but you've had time to process it, and it's like you say, giving you new perspective.
Yeah.
Which, blimey, I'm for a guy who's made some short films, watched some Kungs, made some short films, and then went, need to do this myself. Really, I needed to pay the bill, so I'm going to make a feature film, and has done it, and has actually finished making it. For you to have new perspective and ceilings blasted away. Well, bloody hell, mate. You've already achieved a hell of a lot. So, like you
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
watch this space. Brilliant,
yeah,
man.
100%, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I think when I, try and take stock of everything that's happened, like 2 years is quite a short space of time, actually. And there's been a lot that's packed into that space of time. And because I've been so much in it, in doing, it's tricky to sometimes take a step back and be like, well, actually, just take stock of, you know, where you've been, what you've experienced, what you've learned, and what you've achieved at this point. But I think now is kind of like a time now. I've finished shooting the lock-in and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm editing, but I can have a bit more time now to just take stock of everything in terms of, okay, this is where I'm at this checkpoint, I guess, and then be like, okay, right, well, let's see what happens next. But just have gratitude, I think, more so for everything in terms of what it is that I've experienced,
Yeah.
both good and bad. Just have gratitude for it, um, and then yeah, just see where we go from there. Really, just see how we can just keep building up momentum and just keep improving and just doing the best I can.
Yeah, I think that's important to do that because then, like you say, you can take it all in and enjoy it more rather than just be in it all the time because that is going to be very all consuming. take a
Mm.
step back, have a look at what's going on, and really, it's time to process it. Process it. Look, there's loads of other things, right? We've not even discussed. I'm not. We're not. This is Nathan in Hong Kong, but the Black Belt Hall of Fame and all that. I mean, there's so much going on, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's on the real cone.
Mhm.
It's this stuff is. I've seen you there, suits collecting awards and all that. I've seen it.
Mm.
Seen it. I mean, it's you know,
Yeah.
but it's all. It's kind of it's dumped on you as in bomb something else, something else, something else. But these are these are slabs that you've laid. These are paths you've laid, and they just keep catching up with you. But you put them there. You know they were going to get you eventually. And they do. And it's amazing to see. And I'm ever so grateful that you speak to me and it makes me feel like I'm part of it. I come along on a journey with you. You're always talking to me about it, and you come on here and chat about it. And if you don't come in here and chat about it, you still chat to me about it anyway. And I'm ever so grateful for that as well. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no, just thanks for listening. I mean, like I say, it's great to be able to, just share the experience with people like yourself and things because I know you get it. I know you understand because you have that passion, for kung fu like I do. So when I'm talking to you, it's coming from the heart, and I know you're receiving it in that way because we know what it was like as kids watching, as everybody that tunes into this podcast knows what it's like, when you were younger watching kung fu
Yeah,
movies and things like that. And so, I'd like to hope that me walking this path, hopefully I can walk that path for all of us, in some small way, who,
for
was
sure.
inspired
Yeah.
and things like that. Never, whoever saw themselves being Jackie Chan or like, Sammo when they were younger and things, that somebody like us that grew up watching that stuff and can make it and can do it.
Brilliant, wonderful, wonderful words, mate, and absolutely right. You are an inspiring guy, and it is very, very good to see this blossom out. And I know all the guys, the people that I speak to and the friends I've made doing this, all of them think the same. They all love that they follow your journey, and they all know you now and whatever. And that's another thing. You're close to us all, or whatever. You're not distant, and you've stayed that way, and it's fantastic. You're still just Nathan Kung drunken master bloke at heart. I mean that's it. It's and you feel that all the way through. And I know all of us can't wait to see the lock in and what you've got to show us with that. So it's just amazing, mate. It's amazing. Thanks very much.
No, I appreciate that. I'm excited to show what I've got with the lock in as well. Yeah, for sure. But I think we'll
Yeah,
save that
exactly,
one
man.
for
Plenty more to
another
come.
pod. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 100%. But listen, make sure you dig out the rock solid church shoes. Because we need to have we
My
need to see
God.
them at some point in in the flesh, and all the
Okay.
scars and blood and blisters and that they caused.
Yeah, the pain. Oh my gosh, the pain. Yeah, yeah. I'll dig out the church shoes, but until then, like, there's pictures on my Facebook of me rocking them church shoes, doing the drunken master pose or the Bruce Lee pose and stuff. Yeah, them church shoes. So just know when I'm doing those shapes, there's some pain behind those shapes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, exactly, yeah. Well, look, thanks for the stories. Thanks for sharing everything. Thanks, mate. Couldn't hear the stories without you agreeing to come on and share them as you always do. And that's just amazing that you spend the time to do it because you certainly don't need to do that. You could be doing plenty of other stuff than sharing these stories. But thanks a lot, man, because I love listening to them, and I know lots of other people do as well. But even if it was just for me personally, thank you very much. I love it, mate. It just so happens that I hit record. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, no, big respect. But yeah, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, man. But I've got a
Yeah,
dash because
anytime.
I've got to get on with editing the lock-in now. So yeah, never stops. Um,
It
but
never
yeah,
stops. Well, thanks a
yeah,
lot for
yeah.
your time, Nathan. Bloody brilliant. Say. There you go, mate. Yes. respects.
Yeah,
Brilliant to see you. Brilliant to catch up with you. And thank you again for coming on and giving us those brilliant, brilliant stories. I'm never going to forget church shoes, mate. It's the best.
wicked.
Thanks, man. Speak to you later. See you,
All right.
Nathan.
Take it easy.
Speak soon,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. Bye.
Nice one. See you later, mate.